Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist Johnny Lively. Thanks for tuning in to the Monday Morning Show, sponsored by HB Neal Construction. You look over towards the Tamco Live Doppler radar. We see some downpours, lots of lightning over there just north of the Lufkin region, moving into East Texas. That's not going to get into our area at all. It is awfully quiet here on our Doppler radar. Just seeing some mostly probably some radar noise, actually maybe some light drizzle towards the Baytown region. And again, this is sponsored by the Tamco Live Doppler radar. Look at the rainfall that we got the last 24 hours. Everything stayed well north of the I-10 corridor. We did get some light drizzle, some quick downpour, I guess, along parts of the I-10 corridor, maybe to give a trace towards Baytown and Beaumont. But a lot of this was near Spring, Liberty, Cleveland. You can see some areas got up to 1 to 2 inches of rain. All of that, again, was well north of the I-10 corridor. And this week's going to be pretty much mostly dry. We do have a chance for a passing shower, but it's not enough to really help us out. Our best chance of rain really comes into the end of the week, mainly on Saturday as we get into the weekend. Here we are on the Tamco Hail Guard beyond Class 4. Satellite and radar, again, you can see that cluster that was in the central Texas region now moving into East Texas. Nothing going on here locally in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. Everything is well north of our region. It is very warm for a good portion of the United States today. There's some severe weather definitely likely getting up into parts of Minneapolis. It's 55 there now. They'll actually get a little bit warmer as that warm front lifts. But you can see several areas in the 70s all the way up to St. Louis, Louisville, Chicago in the mid-60s, and that's pretty much what we are here as well too. We are anywhere from the upper 60s down into the low 70s. These areas that were in the 70-degree mark never got out of the 70s overnight last night. So it's been warm and muggy, and that rain that we had has just made it a little bit more humid and just very muggy outside. That's what we get this time of year here in the springtime. It is thanks to Neutron Electrical Services showing what's going on in the temperature department this morning. Anywhere from 3 to 5 degrees warmer than what we've seen. I think anything that we really have is just the humidity is a little bit higher from those rain showers that we got yesterday. Construction outdoor forecast for today looks really good, not only today but the rest of the week. Good time for Modern to do anything concrete-wise because it's going to be mostly dry. There is a chance for a passing shower. Coverage is very low, just 5 to 10% coverage here, southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. A little bit better towards Houston, a little bit better the north that you go of Houston, but a really nice forecast for today and really the rest of the week. But here we are with the rainfall outlook. Small chances of rain today with the passing shower, and then a little bit on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, mostly just some passing showers. And then this weekend features a cold front coming in, a weak front, which bring us 40% coverage of some showers, possibly some thunderstorms as well too. But pretty much as you see the rest of the week, it is mostly dry. Thanks to a sponsor of Switch Electric letting us know what's going on in the rainfall department. We've got the flow out of the south. That's what's making us warm and muggy. All of this moisture's got to go somewhere, and it's going to go far to the north. We're going to show a wide view of the strong to severe storms coming up here in a minute, but it's going to be pretty quiet here across southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. Now, we do expect passing showers really kind of north of the Houston region, so we're going 20% coverage here. Woodlands, Conroe, up there towards Huntsville can get some of those passing showers. Again, Liberty to Beaumont, we're going to include the 5 to 10% coverage for the chance of a passing shower, but we're pretty much mostly dry in Beaumont and to the Lake Charles region. You can see the showers are pretty much north of the I-10 corridor today. And then overnight tonight, we're going to watch to see if we do get some of this fog. We've got that, moisture coming off the Gulf, but I think the winds is going to keep the fog from not being an issue, but we will watch and monitor that because this is a pretty decent foggy condition. Just depends on how the fog plays out later this evening, overnight tonight. So let's widen out because this is pretty active the next couple of days, severe weather-wise. Later on this afternoon and evening towards the Minneapolis area, those yellow and orange shaded region right there, that's the highest risk for severe weather later this afternoon and evening. Large hail, strong damaging winds, even an isolated tornado is possible. And let's fast forward into Tuesday. Notice this goes from Del Rio, Central Texas, Oklahoma, all the way up there into Iowa. Again, once again, those orange to yellow shaded regions, that's where the highest risk for severe weather comes in on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. A little bit of better risk for tornadoes Tuesday evening towards parts of Iowa, but again, large hail, damaging winds, a big threat, especially once you get into Oklahoma. Large wind or large hail, damaging winds, a big threat as well too. Let's fast forward into Wednesday. Almost the same general areas once again. Parts of central Texas can see this dry line fire up from Abilene, but the biggest risk will be over there towards the Texas and Oklahoma border, especially towards El Reno into Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Large hail damaging winds and an isolated tornado is definitely possible. And you see that lines out and moves into the Arkansas region. So, in other words, you're hearing all this talk of severe weather. None of this is an issue for us here locally. It is all north of our region. All the beneficial rain is from parts of Del Rio, getting into parts of Abilene, especially into central and eastern Oklahoma. Not much here locally this whole week. Our best chance of rain comes in on Saturday. Here we are with our afternoon high temperatures, mostly into the low 80s. Some areas will try to get into the mid 80s, close to the 86 mark for Livingston and Jasper. Those areas can get a little bit warmer. Down towards the coast, remain in the 70s. And again, 10% coverage for Beaumont and Lake Charles. We're going to be mostly dry today. That 10% coverage is going to be hard to come by, possibly. And then 10 to 20% coverage more towards the Houston and Conroe regions, thanks to a sponsor of Silsby Ford. Get you one. Check them out on Facebook. They've got a lot on the lot right now. And overnight tonight, it's going to be warm and muggy, very similar to what we had last night. And this is going to be the same thing all week long. Upper 60s is what we're going to see for a majority of the region, down into the low, some possibly even into the mid 70s. It's going to be warm and muggy. 7-day forecast for southeast Texas. I think the biggest thing we're going to see is just some breezy conditions the next 5 to 7 days. Mostly dry throughout the week. A cold front comes in on Saturday. Temperatures really kind of drop off a little bit. Main thing is going to be the humidity, but this does bring a risk for some showers and possibly some isolated thunderstorms as we get into Saturday. Same thing for southwest Louisiana. Breezy conditions off and on all week long. We're talking the chance for severe weather, not in our area, but well towards the north. That means it's going to be windy here. All that moisture's got to go far to the north. We're mostly dry here. Our best chance of rain comes in on Saturday as that weak front moves into the region. That's the end of our Monday morning show. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, later this afternoon, low 80s, some trying to get into the mid 80s. A little bit better coverage towards the Houston and Conroe region, but we are mostly dry today and really throughout the rest of the week. Good time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. Keeps you updated not only of what's going on here locally, but say you travel to Oklahoma, Iowa, Kansas, wherever it may be, you will still get all the updates and alerts that you need, especially on locations-wise. It will tell you what time a storm's moving in and what time the storm's moving out. Thanks again for tuning in to the Monday Morning Show. Meteorologist Johnny Lively. Lucas will have our next update later this afternoon and evening. But other than that, thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful Monday.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play and stay connected no matter where you are.